Hello and hello and welcome. Katie and I are here, and we're both trying to grab a bite to eat before we go on, and we got caught. Katie, you're fine, Katie. Don't worry about it. Katie's a busy mom, and she gets a pass. What are you drinking?
Oh, a high noon.
Is
It's
that
alcohol.
is alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a vodka. It's not a seltzer. It's a vodka soda, but yeah. They're
Yeah,
really yummy.
I could probably use some alcohol right now. All right. Well, everybody, it's nice to see you. Hey, hey, hey. In the comments, Judy's already here. Society page. I do want to show society page. Have you been? Did I tell you about the society page last week, Katie? Okay.
No.
You get. I thought I sent you some videos from her, but here I go with my mouse not working. But you gotta check out the society page. She's a new page, and I don't know who she is, the society page, who's behind society page. Super talented, super fantastic, Adelson themed Justice Dan Markel videos, short, creative videos that are just outstanding. It's so nice to see you, society page. And Judy was live earlier today, so she's probably exhausted. And it's 3 hours later for Judy. So nice to see you. Judy, mentor lawyer, Judy the YouTube lawyer. Which is Asian American legal focus, true lifestyles, fancy fiction. There's another one. Are the OGs really of the Dan Markel trial? So anybody who's here probably are following them, but I know some of the folks from the football world are following me too. So if you're interested in true crime and football, which a lot of us are, then definitely yes, and the society definitely follow those pages if you want to get up to date on the Dan Markel case and the upcoming trial for sin, and hopefully it won't be the last one because it was this conspiracy involving a lot of people. So yeah. So
did you see?
Go ahead.
Did you see that Ruth was on STS this last week?
Yeah.
I watched the first half, but I didn't get to the second half yet.
Right. I probably was. I think I got on the second half, so that's why I didn't see you.
Okay.
I'm always late. I was late for Judy's too today, so it's always, it's hard to. I mean, there's so many good content creators out there to watch, so
yeah,
it's hard to pick. So we understand, but that's why replays are great. I'm usually heading up the replay crew if I can't be somewhere live. Awesome. So where we left off, for those of you who know, that's great. But if you're joining us for the first time, we have been looking at the 2019 testimony in the murder trial of Katherine Magbanua and her baby daddy, Sigfredo Garcia. This was in 2019. They were both tried together. And we are looking at that testimony that Dan Markel, who was murdered, his ex-wife gives for 2019. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the 22 testimony after this. So we're doing 20-minute chunks. And I'm thinking, we have a license to be snarky. So be as snarky. I'm thinking of renaming my channel. I mean, I just named it in Tarot Talk for, I don't know, whatever reason, but I figured eventually a name would come to me, and I'm thinking it should be True Crime Snark.
Yes.
What do you think? Yeah,
I love it.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to get on that. I can probably use some of the same, okay, where am I? The same background and everything, just change the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I do.
Right, so let's get this baby rolling here. And why? Oh, sorry.
Fair to say it was.
Whoop. And where we left off is she was just being asked about, what was she just being asked about?
That was a week ago.
Oh,
I do not remember.
I know. I just looked at it 5 minutes ago and I already forgot. Okay, let's go back like 1 minute. Because my brain is, I'm that forgetful.
Same.
All right. Okay. And everyone, if you can hear us, okay, great. It sounds like you can, but give us a thumbs up also if you're hearing the video okay or not.
That looks like my car.
This is when Georgia's asking her if she knew her car was photographed. Do you remember that?
Oh, yep.
No. I was driving on Centerville Road, and sometimes I would take the shortcut through Trescott.
Sure.
But when I was driving on Centerville Road,
Because we know it's a shortcut.
some sort of tape or obstruction, and
Yeah,
so I didn't.
not a shortcut. Hey, Lorenzo.
And then you went from the liquor store straight to the restaurant?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. What restaurant was that?
What was the name of that restaurant?
Mosaic?
Mosaic.
Don't you love that little face? Like she's really forgetting the name of that restaurant or any detail from that day. Yes, too deep. I was just watching Judy's live from today, and it is the countdown to Charlie's trial. It is awesome. And thanks for being here. She's awesome.
Have you seen the photographs that were taken of your vehicle?
I have not.
Yes, because she wouldn't answer the
looks like my
police's
car.
phone call.
That looks like bourbon. Yeah.
Who had your kids the morning that Mr. Markel was killed?
The kids were at preschool.
But I mean, at what home did they wake up that day?
That morning, I think they were at Danny's house.
I think they were at Danny's house. That's just
That's
called
something
trying.
you would know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called trying too hard. Not plausible. She's lying about so many things, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Did you stand to gain anything from your husband's death, like financially?
No.
Oh, no.
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 Do you know
But she
how
did
much
stand
the-
to. Sorry, pause. She did stand to end the custody battle that she's been dealing with forever. And she did stand to financially be done with the divorce battle. Like, it's over now.
Right. And she actually
So-
did gain financially as well.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
because of the house?
Well, because she had taken money from him that she owed him.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
he was going to take her. Yep. He was pursuing that as among other things.
lawyers that assisted you with the divorce process and litigation that followed the divorce? Do you know how much they cost?
How much my lawyers
How
or
much you
Danny's
spent on
lawyers?
lawyers? Yeah.
I honestly don't remember.
Fair to say it was a lot of money.
It felt like a lot of money to me.
How many different lawyers did you have during the
How does a lot of money feel, Wendi?
pendency of your
I'd like to
divorce
know.
and the litigation that followed?
I had 3.
Do you know how many Mr. Markel had?
I don't remember.
So I think this is a really subtle point that Georgia Kaplan was asking her about. This, she had 3 attorneys.
Sure.
So no matter, the jury is going to have to fill in the blanks as to what that meant.
Sure.
But she
Why
just,
did she?
well, that's complicated. And Judy actually read all the depositions and all the transcripts from the proceedings where they were battling back and forth. But one of the reasons is, well, there were 3 different lawyers, so there were several reasons. I'm not going to go into it, but it's a whole different ball game, and they were fighting. Let's just say
Sure.
it was very contentious. But Danny got at least one of her lawyers thrown off of her case for conflict of interest. So
Whoops.
that was one of the So that was
Sure.
Interestingly, she stays quiet about it here. Smart.
Yeah.
In this case, she just answers the question 3.
Yeah.
And then the silent, like just this big gap of time that Georgia
Yeah.
leaves. Yeah.
Waiting to see if she'll talk.
Remember your mom suggesting a plan to offer Danny $1 million to allow the relocation of you and the children to South Florida?
I'm sure I knew about it at the time that it happened. And then I had my memory refreshed about it recently.
So pause that, because I do remember talking about this
Ever make
last
the
week.
offer to Mr. Markel?
Oops. Yes.
Just that, how she like, it
Yeah.
took her a little bit to think about what she needed to say to make it come off as she's not the bad guy here.
Right. And yeah, this is one time where you can really see her thinking it through. And there's nothing, I mean, as a witness or not a witness, but as when you're giving testimony, you do want to be careful how you answer. So
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, at this time, she really took her time, didn't she, to
Yeah.
think about that answer. And it came right after another answer that required a lot of mental energy
Yeah.
of recall. Yeah. So she's probably wondering where's she going with this.
Cal?
No.
Did you move to South Florida after their father was killed with the children?
So after he was killed, I packed a weekend bag and went to South Florida for what I thought would be a couple of days, maybe a week. My son's birthday was July 29th, and I thought we'd be back in Tallahassee by then.
Did you
And
ever come back?
I did come back a few times, but not permanently.
Okay, so you ended up moving there permanently.
I wouldn't say it's permanent, but I'm living there right now.
Well, it's been 5 years.
It has been a while. I've been exploring options for employment in many different places.
And when you
But my pesky involvement in murder has made that a little difficult.
Right. Also, it's now 2023, and isn't she still in Miami?
Yeah. And this was, yeah, she is now. And she was in the second trial as well in 2022. So yeah, she's not.
So she, yeah. Okay.
That was the whole point. She needed to be by her mommy.
you initially left to go to South Florida, was that the same day as the funeral service for your husband?
No,
Was it the day after?
it might have been the day after or the day after that. I don't remember.
Again, I don't remember.
Did you?
Now, there are times when she says something that's completely implausible to you or I, which seems implausible, and you will see a tiny bit of a duper's delight smile. Somebody who, she's either like, I'm happy I answered it this way, but just watch it does. And I'm going to remember to do some of these in slow motion, because you can, she's not going to be all out smiling. She's not that, she's a smart lady, but
right.
She gave just a little bit of smile there.
Change your children's last name from Markel to Adelson?
I did.
When was that done?
So after Danny died, there was a lot of press coverage. And
the nice hard swallow there, and her mouth showed some disgust and distaste about the press coverage. Mm-hmm. And the press coverage wasn't just about him dying. It was about a conspiracy for murder.
Sure.
CNN put pictures of my children's faces unblurred on national television. Newspapers put their names without any consideration to the fact that they're children.
It may not have been conspiracy, actually, right? If she's talking about right after he died, it wasn't really a conspiracy question until they arrested Luis and Sigfredo.
Sure.
So it might just.
I appreciate that, but the question is when did you change their name?
When they started school, I registered them under my name, hoping it would keep them safe.
And was that approximately a year after their dad was killed?
It was whenever I registered Ben for school, so it was soon after. But I didn't.
Right. It was soon after. This is where we left off. So it was soon after. So it wouldn't have even given her a chance to be reacting to what was going on in the press.
Right.
Because it was July and school started like August.
Yes. Yep.
Didn't legally change their name until after that.
Okay.
Which obviously gives the appearance that this was planned out ahead of time, because it's really hard to get all those things together when moving, all of this together in that short order.
Yes.
And where did they start school? When you say you changed their name when they started school, was that here in Tallahassee or somewhere else?
No, it was in South Florida.
So that fall, they started regular enrollment like you would in the normal beginning of the school year.
That's right.
Okay. And did you also eliminate your older son's middle name?
When I legally changed their names, I did.
And you just dropped that from the name?
I did.
Okay. And that was a name that came from Dan Markel's deceased maternal grandmother, is that correct?
The name started with an A, which was to honor my grandfather, Aaron Adelson, and the second half of his name was to honor Danny's grandmother.
Okay.
So we lost an honor to both families.
Okay. Thank
Pause.
you. No further questions.
Make it about me. Make it about me. It wasn't just Danny. It was my grandmother.
Yes, we lost an honor to both. And look at that face.
Yeah.
That little combative Wendi face. Okay, so this ties it up. Now she's going to get cross-examined, I believe. I could be wrong.
Ms. Adelson, I represent Mr. Garcia, and I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
Okay.
So in case you didn't hear, this is Sigfredo's attorney.
Charlie's your older
Yeah.
brother
Because there's two.
or younger brother?
I'm the youngest in the family, so both my brothers are my older brothers.
And how many years older is Charlie than you?
He's approximately 3 years older.
Would you describe your relationship with your brother as a close relationship?
I would.
And the brother I'm referring to is Charlie. And just for the record, all the questions I have with regards to brothers is going to be focused just on your brother Charlie, okay?
Okay.
Charlie graduated high school,
He did.
college,
He did.
dental school,
He did.
so he has substantial educational background.
Yes.
Interesting, when he asked dental school and she said he did, her nostrils flared and she made a look there. And that might be some deception. And I'm saying that I might not have picked up on that. I mean, I picked up on her face, but we do know that there's talk of Charlie needing help getting through that dental school from his father as a favor. Yeah. And that other students actually said they wouldn't go to the graduation if he was allowed to pick up his degree. Yeah, it was bad. Imagine having him cutting your mouth open.
No, thank you. I know where I'm not going to the dentist.
The Adelson Institute.
Yes.
I still can't. I just can't. I can't with the Adelson Institute. Like, who calls
The one person Adelson Institute. It's
two?
ridiculous.
Yeah, 1.5.
Would you
Yeah.
consider
Yeah.
him to be book smart?
He did very well in his classes.
So that would
So,
potentially be a yes. What about street smart? Do you think he was kind of street smart?
I think he's good with people.
And would
All this reframing of the answer. That's not what he
Mhm.
asked. Is he good with people?
That wasn't
do
the
you-
question.
do you
That's
equate-
not street smart.
right. Do you equate those two things?
No,
No.
no. And her weird little smiles in this part are just,
Yeah.
it's just
Do you
weird.
think he's, yeah, well, do you consider him to be smart? She's actually grinning. It's like
Mhm.
maybe she doesn't.
Right.
Right. Probably not. Charles, are you listening? Your sister doesn't think you're so smart.
would it be fair to say that he has a wide range of friends, different types of friends?
He has a lot of friends.
Would you say, well, Are there certain friends that
I'm so cute. I can just answer whatever I want.
he
Mm-hmm.
goes out night clubbing with?
I don't know. He doesn't talk to me about night clubbing.
Well, can you have, when he has social events, do you ever go out with him?
This is
socially?
so weird.
I haven't in a long time. I'm pretty.
It's awful.
It's just weird. It's
so awful.
yeah.
She's trying to be cute with this lawyer.
Yeah.
She really
It's-
is.
Yeah. It's ick.
It's very, I mean, my stomach is feeling, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me want to just turn away. Like it's weird.
Yeah. It's a wreck. It's a wreck.
But I have once or twice gone out with him.
And is it the same types of friends that he goes out to the club, to these social events with?
He would usually go with his roommate, who's, I don't think they're living together anymore, but they lived together for a while.
So how does she know that? She's acting like she
Right.
doesn't know anything about, but now she's saying he usually goes with. So
Right.
she just exposed herself there.
Would you agree with me that your brother Charlie was I don't want to call him like a socialite, but he would frequent the nightclub scene?
I honestly don't know that.
These are weird questions too. Like they're
Yeah.
weird questions for Wendi.
Well, remember who he's defending.
Right.
So your single brother is a pretty handsome guy, right?
I think he's handsome.
Right. We've seen his pictures. Good looking guy. Never been married, right?
No.
And what kind of car does he have?
For a while, what does he have? What is he driving right now?
Well,
He likes cars. Like
he has a lot of cars, right? And these aren't like Hondas or Toyotas. They're Mercedeses and Ferraris, right?
he drove an unmarked police car for a while.
But that wasn't my question. My question
What was that?
does he have a
Well, remember
was
that
weird.
from the interview too? She was throwing him under the bus.
That was weird.
I know it was a long interview. It was weird. Everything about this. I haven't looked at this
did he
part in a
ever have
while.
a Mercedes?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and it wasn't like a C300. It was like a 5 Series, right?
I honestly don't know anything about cars.
Well, it was the bigger Mercedes, right?
She's so funny.
It's just so cute. It's so funny.
I'm just a mom. I'm just a mom and I drive a minivan. I don't know anything about cars.
Oh,
Gag me.
It was big.
It was the bigger one. And he also had a Ferrari, right?
I know he had one really fancy car, but I don't remember what brand it was.
So you're telling this jury that you don't remember if your brother had a Ferrari?
Cars are really not important to me. You saw mine. I drove a minivan.
Well, but you're not your brother, right?
I love it when she realizes that her little smile charm isn't working and it turns into
Yeah.
this really odd looking face.
Yeah.
It's not working and it's
I am not my
cringe. It's
brother.
making
No,
me-
I knew he had a fancy car. I just don't remember if
Yes,
it was
you
a
can.
Porsche or if it was a Ferrari. It was something fancy.
Something kind of fancy,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So you have a pretty successful brother, right?
He's successful, yeah.
And he likes to show off his success with his extravagant cars.
So she didn't say, well, how do you define successful?
Exactly.
He's good with
Exactly.
people. He's good with people. Yeah.
He's
So that one,
successful.
she could get on board with.
Right.
He likes fancy cars.
Okay. Handsome guy, in good shape, right?
He's handsome.
And you indicated that he had a lot of girlfriends, right?
Yes.
She's not smiling now.
Now I know-
She's realizing he's broken it. It's like we're not. Your charm
Yeah.
and offensive
So you
is
didn't
not
go
working on this
clubbing
guy.
with him, but were you
Yeah.
aware that he would go to like Miami Beach a lot
I mean,
or South Beach?
sure. I mean, I couldn't say how often he went out or where he was going. It's just not something I would really talk to him about.
But you talk about money and buying a broken TV.
Right. She definitely talked to him about how unhappy she was with Dan Markel, so much so that he
Right.
hated him. We'll see where this questioning takes us.
When your brother took you out to dinner and you vomited, do you remember what the restaurant was?
I do.
Which restaurant was it?
It's called Uvia.
So she remembered the name of that restaurant right away, but not the one she was at when
Right.
George was asking her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that located?
Yeah.
Located?
It's on Lincoln Road.
Okay, and Lincoln Road's in South Beach, right?
And where it
Lincoln Road's in
is,
South Beach.
the road. Like boom, boom.
Are you aware if
But
your
she
brother took
can- yeah.
steroids?
What?
She couldn't remember where she was when the cops picked her up.
Right. Oh,
But she
yeah. Come
I
on.
don't know. What's the name?
Come on. Oh, that face. I love that free frame.
Gosh,
It's beautiful.
it is so windy.
Oh, I hope I never have to go on trial.
No, I'm not aware if he took steroids.
What about if your brother used illicit drugs?
I'm not aware of my brother using illicit drugs.
And the fact that you're not aware if he used it doesn't mean he didn't use it, correct?
No, I'm just saying I don't know.
Do you know when Luis Rivera started serving your brother drugs?
I don't know anything about that.
Luis Rivera started serving Charlie drugs. That might give us a little hint into the defense.
Yeah.
One of the possibilities of what Charlie's defense might be. I forgot about that question. I totally forgot. I'm so glad we're doing this.
Your brother would frequent South Beach and Miami Beach sometimes, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know? The restaurant that he took you to was in South Beach, correct?
I was living close to that restaurant at the time.
And your parents had a home in South Beach also, correct?
My parents did not have a home in South Beach. They were renting an apartment.
I'll rephrase it. They had a place.
Okay, apartments are also homes.
Right. But they're not rich. They're not wealthy. They don't have a home, Don. They're just renting.
This is my home. I mean, I've owned my own
No.
home. And now I'm currently renting my home.
No,
Still
yes.
my home.
Yes. That's not what I meant
What's
by that.
wrong
But
with
yes.
her? No, right.
Yes.
I know you didn't. No. What is wrong with this woman?
To stay. Correct?
Correct.
It's just interesting. Yeah, the point is you're familiar with the area, so you're playing dumb and it's not
Right.
working.
Right.
Look at that face.
What am I seeing? What's happening over there?
Yeah, game face. Game
Uh-huh.
face. There's the game
See
face.
it all. Yep. She's so mechanical in these movements in the quiet time.
Here we go.
Yeah. This one's spicy. Was she Katie's lawyer in the second trial also?
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You doing okay?
I'm fine.
You nervous?
Am I nervous?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm nervous.
Now you stated on direct examination that you are a lawyer,
I am a lawyer.
right? So you understand that the oath that you took before you took the stand, correct?
Yes,
You know the consequences of not being truthful here,
of course.
and you also have a separate obligation as an attorney to tell the truth, right?
Of course.
Now, do you know?
Now, this could either be her greasing the wheels or it could be her working with her, which I feel like she was working with her objections.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Who killed Dan Markel?
No,
Did your brother have anything to do with killing Dan Markel?
I don't believe so.
Your mother is Donna.
so that wasn't a no like it was. Mhm.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Charlie, your sister Charlie. Come on.
Yes.
She is.
Where is she right now?
Right now, she's with my children
Not in
In-
Tallahassee.
in Miami.
Okay, she's not in jail.
No,
She's never been arrested before.
no,
She's not even testifying in this case, is she? To your
No.
knowledge.
to my knowledge, no.
What about your brother Charlie? Is he in Miami right now?
He's probably in Fort Lauderdale right now.
Okay, but he hasn't been arrested,
No,
hasn't been charged,
no.
and he's not.
Well, this is interesting because she could have easily, with all of her distancing of Charlie, like she did earlier, say, I don't know where my brother is right now.
Right.
She was
But
pretty
she
quick.
knew,
He's probably in Fort Lauderdale, right? Yeah.
which is right beside Miami, but whatever.
Right, and she did mention in her police interview, and I'm sure she knew what she said, was that she was very close to Charlie. Not just close,
Yeah.
but very close.
Not testifying in this case, is it?
No.
Are you aware?
It's also interesting to me right now how quiet Wendy's voice has gotten. She's not putting on the charm. She's not.
Right,
She is very quiet and not animated at all right now, which is kind of
Right.
interesting.
good observation. I was thinking the same thing when she opened up. She was just like a lot calmer. It was like she was talking to her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Does the
Interesting.
come to court?
I believe they have received a subpoena to come to court.
Okay, and it was for them to come and testify in this trial, or you don't know?
I don't know for certain.
Okay, but you know they've received.
I mean, you wouldn't know. You're
She's
an
a
attorney.
lawyer.
If you weren't
Yes.
an attorney, if your parents were subpoenaed,
Yes,
come
I
on.
would. Yes.
Come on, Wendy.
Yeah.
Some form of subpoena.
I heard about that.
When is the last time you spoke to your family? Your mom in particular?
This morning I called to check in on the boys.
Okay. How is your relationship with your parents now? Is it estranged in any way, or you still have a good relationship with your parents?
I still have a good relationship.
What about your brother Charlie?
I still have a good relationship.
When is the last time you spoke to Charlie?
Probably last week at some point.
Okay.
Okay, so what Kawas is probably trying to do here is say, look at this nice lady. There couldn't been a conspiracy, right?
Right.
If there was, and she wasn't aware of it, she certainly wouldn't be still talking with her brother and her parents, right?
Right.
Now, you had mentioned that Charlie is a father.
He is.
When did he have his child? Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy.
Okay.
He was born in December 2017.
So about, I would say that's over a year after Miss Magbanua's arrest.
I couldn't say.
Okay. Do you know who the mother of that child is?
I do.
Who is she?
You want her name?
Yes.
Her name is Bree Price.
Okay. And is he married to her now?
He's not married.
Are they still together?
Depends on the day.
And do you know if he?
Sounds like somebody who kind of knows what's going on in her brother's life, doesn't it?
Yep. Depends on the day. Yep.
She knows.
Hmm.
Has any other girlfriends at this
I
point?
have no idea.
Have you been keeping up with the media coverage in this case?
I don't watch any media related to this case.
So, but you are
But she evidently did earlier. She said that's why she changed her boys' names.
Right.
aware of the attention that has been brought on this case?
I'm aware only because of the constant death threats that I receive, yes.
Okay. So
I would love
Playing the
I would
victim.
love for her to produce. I would just love for her to produce one.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
come on.
playing the victim. Who's trying to kill her and why?
Right,
Like,
Right.
what?
right.
That doesn't make any sense, Wendy. Nobody is after you. Except hopefully the cops, but
Right, because at this point it was 5 years later.
yeah,
She couldn't have been that scared. She had her kids, like, she didn't have her kids tutored. If I were genuinely afraid of my children, for my children's safety, I wouldn't send them off to school.
I
would
wouldn't
have
be in Florida.
Yeah, I would leave the country or something. Right, exactly.
Gosh.
Where the murderers were from.
Right. She
Luis and
moved to
Fredo.
the city where they're from.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense because you're so scared.
because she's so scared.
She's
Yeah.
dumb.
just to specify, you haven't watched any of the specials that have been on air about this case.
I have not watched any of them.
Do you know if your parents have watched any of the specials on this case?
I advise them not to. They may have seen bits of them, but I don't know for certain.
What about your brother Charlie?
I don't know.
Did you watch the state's opening statement in this case?
I did not.
You did not.
I did not.
So you're not aware of what the state's theory is in this case?
I'm not.
Now,
Lie. Yes, you are. You know why you're there. You know what's happening. You're a lawyer.
Well,
And it's her family. So yes,
you would know.
yes, you do know.
You would
And
know.
it's your ex-husband. It's your children's father. Yes, you know.
All
It's
the
his murder trial.
all the employees from the dental practice were brought in as witnesses. I mean, it's obviously you would know these things.
She's so dumb.
But she's counting on the jury not knowing that. But we'll see about that. And by the way, hey, I wasn't looking at the comments. Hi, go Georgia. Hi, Deluxo. Yes, she disregards Charlie a bit too. Deluxo thinks Wendi should be a movie star. All this acting.
Gosh.
And yeah, death threats. Yeah, death threats. Yep. And yep. Charlie tapped that. Okay. Tapped
Ew.
what? Oh, really? Maybe. I mean, this family.
you mentioned on direct examination something about listening to some recordings that the state provided to you.
Yes,
Okay. Is that the first time you've ever listened to those recordings?
yes.
Do you know what those recordings are about?
There are many, many recordings.
Okay. Did they give you all of the recordings?
I don't know. I listened to what I was given, but I don't know if there's more.
How much time did it take you to listen to the recordings that you were given?
Again, I didn't listen to the entire thing, so probably about an hour to go through all of the recordings and listen to excerpts of each of them.
Of each of them. So you're not aware if the state gave you all of the recordings that they provide, that they have in their possession?
I have no idea.
Okay. Did they have you listen to any recordings that occurred before April 19th of 2016? Sorry, 2016.
So I'd have to see the document to remember the exact date on it. I do remember my birthday's in April, so I remember the dates being close to that.
Of course you would remember that because it's about you.
What's special about that time frame?
April?
Yeah,
Or the
of
record.
26. No, April of 2016. Like, what are the recordings?
I was trying to remember. I think these are Luisa's recordings that she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Chat.
Okay.
Chat. Chat, is she talking about? I was going to actually replay it because I was like, wait a minute. I kind of got lost in the chat and then I popped over and I'm like, is she talking about Luisa's recordings?
I was wondering if it was Charlie's recordings with somebody because it was recordings that she had to verify who was talking. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the one with Katie and Charlie in the restaurant, which supposedly led up to Charlie's being arrested because they hadn't cleaned them up enough. It took them how many years to clean them up, which is a little weird too. Shouldn't have taken that long. And Deluxe so asked, I wonder if she'll wear that dress for Charles.
I know, right? Same.
If she. Oh, hi, Helen. You had company. Okay, we're just getting the part where where Tara Kawas is cross-examining after Georgia in the 2019 trial, and Tara is asking Wendi about tapes. Let me go back just a hair to see where we are.
So, but you are aware of the attention that has been brought on this case?
I'm aware only because of the constant death threats that I receive, yes.
Okay, so just to specify, you haven't watched any of the specials that have been on air about this case?
I have not watched any of them.
Do you know if your parents have watched any of the specials on this case?
I advise them not to. They may have seen bits of them, but I don't know for certain.
What about your brother Charlie?
I don't know.
Did you watch the state's opening statement in this case?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
Okay. So you're not aware of what the state's theory is in this case?
I'm not.
Now, you mentioned on direct examination something about listening to some recordings that the state provided to you.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the first time you've ever listened to those recordings?
Yes.
Do you know what those recordings are about?
There are many, many recordings.
Okay. Did they give you?
So she wasn't really specific.
Them not to. They may have seen. Don't know.
Did you watch the state's opening statement in this case?
I did not.
You did not.
I did not.
So you're not aware of what the state's theory is in this case?
I'm not.
Now, you mentioned on direct examination something about list.
She cares that little. She cares that little that two people are being prosecuted for murdering her ex-husband, that she doesn't even bother listening to, knowing what the state is, what their theory is about them murdering the father of her children. That says a lot about this person. First of all, we know it's not true, but if it were true, it's just as bad, right?
Right. And the other thing of her not paying attention or not watching the specials, based on her personality, I think she's also completely lying about that. Because I think she would want to know how, like, what kind of light she's being portrayed in. So it would shock me if she hasn't watched or listened to stuff.
Right. And the folks that appeared in, like, for example, the 2020, they were friends of hers.
Yeah.
At least at one time. I mean, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And Luke Timber weighs in on some body language here. When she gets uncomfortable with a question, she uses a hand gesture a lot. And we had another comment after last week's episode where, remember I was talking about how when she makes a statement that is pretty easily, it's easily to argue that it would be untrue. She does a slow blink. And I was talking about her face when she does make those statements that are just completely implausible. So, and Helen says it is. It's ridiculous that she wouldn't have known the state's theory or been aware of people being prosecuted for murdering her ex-husband.
Yeah.
And so, Go Georgia said she looks so much better than in 2022. Yeah, she looks, the difference in her appearance in that 3 years is pretty remarkable. We'll find out.
They provided to you.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the first time you've ever listened to those recordings?
Yes.
Do you know what those recordings are about?
There are many, many recordings.
Okay.
Okay, so this is why we're confused, because she's asking, did you listen to the recordings that the state provided you?
Right.
Do you know what they're about? And she doesn't answer, I don't know what they're about. How could you not know what they were about if you listened to them? And she answers with, there are many, many recordings. Okay.
Right.
I'm back with it, guys.
Okay.
My brain's a little slow.
They give you all of the recordings.
I don't know. I listened to what I was given, but I don't know if there's more.
How much time did it take you to listen to the recordings that you were given?
Again, I didn't listen to the entire.
So she's still arguing about whether they were the entire, she just wants to know how long.
Just
how many
answer
minutes,
the question.
How many minutes? Yeah. And she's very uncomfortable with this, because what Tara Kawas is trying to do is pin her down to that she really does know what this is about.
Yes.
Even though she's playing dumb.
So probably about an hour to go
there's
through
the
all
hand
of
gesture.
recordings and listen to excerpts of each of them.
So you're not aware that the state gave you all the
Right,
recordings
because
that they provide, that they have in their possession.
I have no idea.
Okay. Did they have you listen to any recordings that occurred before April 19th of 2016? Sorry, 2016.
So I'd have to see the document to remember the exact date on it.
Okay, so I think we can all agree that she did. Based on that, on all of that. What I like to call her extras. It's like all this extra when she's trying to convince. Yep.
I do remember my birthday's in April, so I remember the dates being close to that, but I don't remember exactly.
Did they ask you to listen to the phone call where Charle Adelson is talking to Miss Magbanua about work?
I listened to something.
So it's fair to say that they only let you listen to portions of the phone calls that they think are important.
I was given conversations and I listened to some of them to authenticate voices, but I don't know.
Okay, to authenticate voices. Finally, we got somewhere. Okay.
Yes.
I imagine they thought it was important for me to listen. That's why I did.
Did you listen to a phone call?
Ask your question, don't answer until I rule, please, ma'am. Let's go to that one. You just wake all up. Go ahead and explain.
So the question was, Ms. Adelson, did they have you listen to any phone calls where it was a conversation between your brother and your mother, if you were able to identify any conversations like this?
I think I did yes.
Hallelujah. Okay.
An
In the
answer.
An answer. We finally know where we are. And in the comments, so we are chatting about the Botox and the
I saw
forehead
that and I
line.
laughed.
Well, what happens, and because I've had a few times from my neurologist Botox for migraines, and I don't like getting, I haven't in years and years and years, because for some reason, instead of just doing them back here in the occipitals, she'll do all around, like my whole head. And if she does here, even though I don't get headaches here, I'm trying to tell her, don't do them there. She says she has to. My eyebrows go like that. And I look like a different person, like for 4 weeks. It's like, I don't look right. It totally
Oh
changed.
my gosh.
Instead of my eyebrows being where they are, they go, rah. I don't like the way it looks. And I noticed that too with our dear, I can't even use her name. It makes me, anyway. Yes, she looks so different here.
Oh, that's funny. I'm excited to see
I
the
wanna
next
talk
one
about
then.
the circumstances surrounding your actual divorce.
Okay.
Which
I should do
believe
some
you said
before
was
and after.
finalized in 2013, right?
Yes.
You just left your divorce papers on a mattress of Dan Markel in the house and left town. Is that correct?
No.
How is it that you delivered the divorce papers to him?
Stop. Pause.
I called him.
Did you see that eye roll?
Yes.
I've never seen that one before.
Let's do that one in slow-mo just for effect.
Yeah, that is there. She's not just mad. She is mad.
To let him know that I wanted a divorce.
Further
Wasn't
back.
The first time I asked for a divorce, but it
Oh, I don't think so.
was the last time.
Yeah, it was
And
before that.
told
Really?
Because now she's,
him-
yeah, because she's explaining how she actually left the papers.
Ah, my mouse is being weird.
Your mother, if you were able to identify any conversations like this.
I think I did between, yes.
Now I want to talk about the
Get ready for it.
circumstances surrounding your actual divorce,
Okay.
which I believe you said was finalized in 2013, right?
Yes.
You just left your divorce papers on a mattress of Dan Markel in the house and left town. Is that correct?
No.
How
Is that what you mean?
No, it gets even better.
that you
There.
delivered
The blink.
divorce papers?
The
Yeah,
blink,
and the eye, like
left
there was an
and the
eye
right.
roll.
The left and the right. Yep. She's
Yeah.
surprised. Oh, the audacity.
Yes, yes.
The audacity.
Don't you dare come at me like
called
that.
him to
That is
let
not
him
who I am.
know that I wanted a divorce. It wasn't the first time I asked for a divorce, but it was
First time.
the last time.
I like that it wasn't the first time.
Yeah.
Got to do the crinkle nose, the little chipmunk face.
And
Gosh.
told him that I would see him when he got home. Not home, but back to Tallahassee. And then I did leave the papers for him, but I didn't leave town. I was still in Tallahassee.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
he was actually aware of the like that you were going to be seeking a divorce before you actually delivered the papers to him?
I
No,
had asked for a divorce several months earlier.
Okay.
Right.
no,
Several
not then.
Right. Not that day.
That's when we
And she
started
left the house
counseling.
empty with the papers.
And he
So,
told me that if I tried to get divorced from him, that I could leave with the clothes on my back and that he would take the kids and that I would be penniless. And
You know what upsets
throw
me?
him under the bus.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
keep throwing him under.
It upsets me invariably every single murder trial that I've paid any attention to hear about the torment that the victim, the murder victim, is put through prior to even being murdered. It's like they didn't just murder, they murdered them while they were alive too.
Right.
Their
Right.
spirit, their soul, their emotions, their mind, and then that didn't work. That wasn't
Right.
enough.
Right.
So they got bullied, you know. And I mean,
And Dan told her, I'm putting up a fight. He told
Right.
her right then,
very
fine,
common.
but
That would be your
I'm
reaction.
putting up a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. And whether it's a
Awful.
a divorce situation or even with Lori Vallow's kids, it's like those kids had
Awful.
horrible time for months before being murdered. It's just the common theme here. It just makes me sick.
so when I actually
agree.
asked for a divorce, I thought it best not to be there.
So is it fair to say that this was not a mutual thing between the two of you, that Danny did not want a divorce?
I don't think he wanted to get divorced.
I don't think so either. Duh. Luke says wiki hedging and Wendy face appears. Hedgehog. Helen says, because that's the laws these days, she would get nothing, right? Of course, even if somebody were to say that, hi Josh, even if somebody were to say that, she would know better than that. Of course. Ah.
How close is your brother's relationship, Charle Adelson, with your mother, Donna Adelson?
I think they're close.
Would you characterize their relationship as closer than you are with your mother?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I do think they talk more frequently than I do, but I don't think closeness always has to do with the frequency of communication.
Well, now we're getting philosophical.
You said on direct that your
What is it?
parents weren't.
Wendy, what does it mean to be close? Well,
Right.
it's not necessarily how often. Oh my God.
Oh, Wendy.
Hedge, 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 like Luke says.
Not happy with Dan Markel's behavior during the divorce?
No, they didn't think he was treating me well.
And is this just Donna Adelson, your mom, or was it both Donna and Hart Adelson?
I'm sure both of my parents felt that way.
Did they ever express those feelings to you?
Yes,
Did they call him names?
yes.
Okay. Did one
Oh.
parent do that more than the other?
That was surprising.
That was a direct answer.
What do you know?
Weird.
What do you know? Yeah, it seems like the direct answers always come when it's about throwing her family under the bus.
Yes. Crazy.
Listening, Donna, because Donna, if it's you or her, who do you think she's going to throw?
She's going to save herself.
Yes.
Or it was consistent between the two?
I think it was consistent between the two.
Okay. What kind of names did they call him?
I mean, I've had my memory recently refreshed, so I saw things, but my memory is, I don't remember name calling, but I did recently see emails where they called him names.
And they were
Liar.
She didn't answer the question.
No.
What names?
mm-mm.
What
No.
names?
No.
Mhm.
And we're lying again. You
We're
know
lying.
what?
Yeah, she's got the lie face going.
Mhm.
She tucks her face back in. She tries to smile, and she tucks her chin back in when she doesn't want to answer. It's almost like if somebody's coming after you. But she tries to smile at the same time.
She's trying to protect herself.
Very odd looking.
Now, after the divorce,
No
you
momento.
started dating
I did.
other people, right? When is it that you had your first, I wouldn't say serious boyfriend, but your first boyfriend after Dan Markel?
Probably within a month.
That didn't take long. Okay, so we're at our next 20 minutes. This is where we will resume next week. Hopefully Friday next week. What do you want to do Friday
Yes.
next week? Yes, okay.
Yes.
So, wow. And Joan Reagan says goodbye. Goodbye. So, yeah, so we will resume next week, same place, almost the same time, only Friday as planned.
Yep.
And we'll get to the next 20 minutes. We'll get through this one and then we'll get to the 2022 testimony. And gosh, before we know it, it's going to be October. And there's
We're
going to be
getting
jury selection. Yes. So we have to keep ourselves busy while we wait for this, for justice to hopefully be served, another measure of justice to be served, hopefully.
Yep.
So thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next week. I hope until then you have a great week. First week of
Bye.
September. Bye for now.